tonight. 8 Republican presidential hopefuls got their first chance to stand out in a crowded field.
Not on the stage, the clear front-runner, former President Donald Trump, though his presence was felt tonight. Our political reporter Greg Lee here now with the big moments. And Greg, plenty of heated exchanges here.
Yeah, Mike, Julie, ahead of tonight's first debate. It was expected Mr. Trump and the number 2 in the polls, Governor Ron DeSantis, would be the target of many attacks. While the former president certainly loomed large, it was a political newcomer and a staunch Trump supporter who was at the center of much of the action. 8 Republican presidential candidates took the debate stage in Milwaukee Wednesday night, the same stage where the party will select its 2024 nominee in 11 months. The first topic, the economy.
We also need to understand is that Joe Biden's Bidenomics has led to the loss of $10,000 of spending power for the average family.
Our country is in decline. This decline is not inevitable. It's a choice. We need to send Joe Biden back to his basement and reverse American decline.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, in a distant second place in the polls, looking for a reset, targeted Democrats. In contrast, entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy seeing a surge in the polls went after his GOP rivals right away.
Professional politicians, super PAC puppets, following slogans handed over to them by their 400-page super PACs last week. The real choice we face in this primary is this. Do you want a super PAC puppet, or do you want a patriot who speaks the truth?
I've had enough already tonight of a guy who sounds like ChatGPT standing up here.
Joe Biden has weakened this country at home and abroad. Now is not the time for on-the-job training. We don't need to bring in a rookie.
Ramaswamy clashed with several of the people on stage over a number of issues, including his call to end U.S. support in Ukraine.
We have to put the interests of Americans first. Secure our own border.
Under your watch, so you will make America less safe. You have no foreign policy experience, and it shows.
And you know what?
It shows.
An hour into the debate, the moderators briefly brought up the leading GOP candidate who chose not to attend, former President Trump. A memorable moment came when the moderator asked this.
If former President Trump is convicted in a court of law, would you still support him as your party's choice? Please raise your hand if you would.
6 of the 8 candidates raised their hands, with the exception of Asa Hutchinson and Chris Christie.
I am not going to bow to anyone when we have a president of the United States who disrespects the Constitution.
Before Mr. Trump surrenders to Georgia authorities Thursday for alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election, his vice president, Mike Pence, reiterating his decision to certify the results.
He asked me to put him over the Constitution. And I chose the Constitution, and I always will.
In counter-programming, Trump released a 45-minute taped interview with former Fox host Tucker Carlson.
I'm saying, do I sit there for an hour or 2 hours, whatever it's going to be, and get harassed by people that shouldn't even be running for president? Should I be doing that?
The candidates addressed issues of crime and homelessness, education and immigration. Some of the most substantive differences in policy came on the question of a federal abortion ban.
Can't we all agree that contraception should be available? And can't we all agree that we are not going to put a woman in jail or give her the death penalty if she gets an abortion?
It's certainly fine for it to be addressed at the national level as well. Arkansas has the record of being the most pro-life state in the nation.
But I am on the record, and I stand behind that we should not have a federal abortion ban. We should not. And the reason why we shouldn't is very simple. It's the 10th Amendment.
Now, the latest poll has former President Trump leading the pack by 40 points. The next Republican debate set for September 27th at the Reagan Presidential Library in Southern California. In studio, Greg Lee, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Vice President